Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Black 20.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Exit.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception throw.
And that last one, that hurts.
Point it right.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play fake. Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. First down, Mayfield. Letting one go deep for the end. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Ratley, his first. Touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
And the Steeler first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? So who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 47-yard line.
Here we go. Like 80. Easy.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Browns drive about to get started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Let's get in them holes. Check 26, check 26. Hatchet, hatchet. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I got it.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Here we go.
Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Mayfield down, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Hey, wahoo!
Here's Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Hey, Echo.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the man from nearby Columbus, Ohio, Benny Snell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Snell again. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football. And what a nice gain on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
Dad! White 80! Beat these two! Yeah, that's what I do. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line.
16 yards. First down, Steelers.
Ready? Black 30. 44. Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, T. Here I come.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He'll have a first down past the 40. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I actually love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Mayfield on play action. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, Zoo!
52, Mike, 52.
Watch the screen! Watch.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Jack 16. Let's go.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll go with a keeper, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Double. Block 80!
He don't know no better. Check 3.
SOS. Kill. Switch it. Topper! Jam.
This time, Roethlisberger will throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it costs them 2 points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Hooked off by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That's fielded in the end zone. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And some room to work. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mayfield now from the 50. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Demetrius Harris, 35 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. With his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Going top shelf for Smith, and that's caught inside the 35. A big pickup of 38. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to go down again. Christian Kirksey in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger on target to Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2.
No foul. Show that bench release and go.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown.
And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
55. Smooth. 55. It's our time. It's our time.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again.
And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eric Murray. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. That turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Roethlisberger with a catch made by Johnson. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He finds his man Johnson. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Black 20.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Mark 55, Mark 55.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Let's go.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, now, Black 20, Jack 16. Alert, alert. 80 weapons.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.